Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. I'm here with my dad today with the Lotus Evora 400 and the Crossfire as usual. We recently just bought a brand new 2021 Chevy Silverado so that we can tow the Crossfire to the track since it's no longer smog legal. Last time I was at the track, I was at Auto Club Speedway with Alan, and my brake fluid was not doing so well. I lost my braking at the end of one of the straights, and right now it looks like it's doing fine. I just had my first session of the day. It's really cold here. Its tires were cold, track was cold. When I was really pushing it on some corners, I was really getting a lot of chatter from the tires. So I just let out a few pounds. Since the last time I was at the track, I pulled off the side skirts and the rear diffuser, and I also pulled out my headliner. And the other thing I did was I took out the seat sliders from both seats, because I found out that my seat was actually fine for my driving position, just planted in one place. So maybe I saved, 5-10 pounds from the headliner. The headliner in this car is actually surprisingly heavy. Side skirts were probably about 30 pounds, and then the diffuser was maybe another 30 pounds. And then the seat sliders were maybe like a few pounds each. So maybe, 50 to 70 pounds less weight in the car since last time. We have new brake fluid now. I'm monitoring everything, and so far we're good. Oh, and one other thing, I don't know how this is affecting the performance of this car, but today at the track they're completely out of 91 octane, so I'm gonna be running this car on 100 octane. I did one session on 100 octane. It was a mixture of about half a tank of 91 and half a tank of 100, and I didn't really notice anything weird, so we'll see if it keeps doing well today. All right, so here's the beginning of the next session. This will be my second session of the day. This is where you enter the track. You have to kind of enter on this little weird paved road, and you have to make sure you enter at some speed, because if you're going too slow, you might have other people that are out on the track, like that Miata right there, hit you if you're not going fast enough. And you also have to stay far to the right to make sure that when you are entering the track, if someone is coming up fast, that they have plenty of space to not hit you. So at the beginning of this session, and most sessions in general, you always want to start out going pretty slow because your tires are cold and your car needs to warm up a little bit before you start going, 10/10s. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to where our cars are a little more warmed up so that you don't have to watch us going slow. Alright, now we'll go ahead and start increasing the speed a little bit. As you just saw right there, I kind of have to get on the brakes quite a bit earlier than he does. I have to let off the throttle because my brakes are nowhere near as good as his, so I can't slow down anywhere near as fast, and also I get way more brake fade way earlier than he does. So this little upcoming section of the track is called the Bowl. It's a turn that's at a pretty decent banking, and I never really know how fast I can go through here. It's one of these corners where it's kind of scary because that's one of the only places on the track where if you did slide off, there's a decent elevation change between the edge of the track and the actual dirt, so you don't want to push it too much. Alright, so now my dad's going to give me a point by so that I can pass him. Despite his car being much newer and a much more serious sports car, my car is actually 2 seconds faster than his car. And it's really interesting that, you know, even though there's such a big age difference, if you do enough to a car, you can make it really fast, like the Crossfire. Obviously, stock for stock, his car would be way faster than mine. No competition. But now, the way my car's been modded, the cars are able to be, you know, at pretty much the exact same speed around a track. So we did lead and follow like this all day. We usually prefer to follow the other person. We're a little more confident when we're following someone else rather than we're the one being followed. But yeah, overall, all day we had a lot of fun chasing each other around the track, and we're almost exactly the same speed. So now I'm going to tell you what it's like driving on this track in my car. So you'll see here's the line right here. This is where the lap times actually start on my lap timer. I have to slow down a lot from this straight to be able to get my car to turn in enough because you're going really fast. You know, you want to stay in left by the banking, then kind of let the car travel out right to the side a little bit. I didn't do it that much there. I should have done it more. And you get back over to the left, get on the brakes a little bit to transfer the weight forward, and then I get on the gas a bunch here to kind of help maintain my speed in this corner, and then I turn in. A lot of the times you don't even need brakes in this corner right here. Go back out to the right, back over to the left, and then you move back over to the right and go into the banking here. I like to stay at the bottom of the bowl, kind of by the banking. My dad likes to stay at the top. I don't really know which is the right way, but my way feels good for me. Then I get back on the power right here, stay over to the left, and then turn into the banking. It's kind of creepy because you can't see what's in front of you when you're going uphill like that. Go back over to the left, and then let the car drag itself back out to the right. And you're obviously flooring it here, flooring it, and then you have to get on the brakes early in this car because the brakes aren't so good, because you have to turn in hard to the left, stay on the banking, and this is a uphill, downhill, off-camber turn. Really hard for most cars to get, to be able to maintain grip in that corner. Go back out to the right, flooring it, and then on the brakes, you want to stay out to the right as you're turning left into this corner, and you have to let the car kind of go where it wants to go here, all the way out to the banking, then back into the left, and then you get on the power as early as possible. Now this coming up corner, as you'll see, my car does really well in it. My dad's car likes to rotate more, so it's a little less confidence inspiring than the Crossfire, and you just kind of stay on the gas and hold the wheel and let the car go where it wants to go. So now you just are flooring it here, and then you get on the brakes just a little bit, and then you turn back into the left, and then you let the car go back out to the right, and you get on the brakes a little bit, then back into the left. I got a little confused right there because that guy decided to tell me he was going into the pits pretty late, I felt like, but it's not a big deal. Alright, now I'm going to skip forward a little later into the session. As you can see, there is a C5 Corvette, I believe that's a C5, up ahead of me, and he was a pretty good driver. I don't know what he had done to his car. I didn't bother to ask or talk to him, but he was driving pretty well. The Crossfire was a decent amount faster than him though, and you'll see, as I've discussed in previous videos, it's important to kind of get as close to the back of the other person's car as you can without being too close. You want to make sure they can see you in their rear view mirrors and side mirrors. Right here, it looks like his car is pulling away a little bit from me on the straights, but I'm pretty sure our cars were kind of around the same speed. It's always hard to tell when you're only following closely behind for just a little bit, but yeah, they were roughly the same speed. And, you know, after this corner right up here, you'll see he's going to give me a point by, and I'll be able to pass him. Obviously, he'll be off the gas or when he's letting me try to pass, because it'd be too hard to pass without it. So here I go. Alright, now I've been leading for a little bit, so I'm going to let my dad go ahead and lead, and I'll follow him. As I mentioned earlier, my dad's brakes are much better than my brakes, so he can accelerate for longer before he has to get on the brakes, whereas I have to let off and get on the brakes earlier than he does. Some of these corners, it's clear that his car is faster than mine, and other corners, it's very clear that my car is faster than his. You know, they're obviously two different cars, different tires, different setups, slightly different weights, now that I've taken out more weight of my car, and, you know, different weight distributions. There's a lot of differences, so it makes sense that some corners he'll be faster than me and others I'll be faster than him. So this upcoming corner, this really long sweeper right here, you'll see I usually am able to gain quite a bit on my dad's car in this corner. Right now I'm kind of maintaining my distance from him because we're doing lead follow and there's no reason to be right behind him, not giving him very much space if I'm not trying to pass him. So at this point in the session, I'm starting to go a little bit easier on my brakes because I know it's getting towards the end of the session. We've been out here for maybe 15 to 18 minutes so far, and my brakes are starting to become pretty hot, and I'm starting to get quite a bit of brake fade. So that's why you'll see I'm kind of letting off earlier on the gas at the end of some of these straights because I don't want to risk, you know, losing my braking or overheating my fluid too much. As you can see, we've started to slow down a lot. We were given a checkered flag. That means our session is over. We want to drive around a little slower and let our cars cool down, you know, get some air going through the radiator and stuff. And to exit the track, you put your fist out of the car to let everybody else know, and you stay to the right before the front straight. You follow this little paved road that leads you back into the pits, and you obviously want to be going pretty slow in the pits. You're not racing anymore. People are walking through the pits. You got to be careful. And then you just turn right through this chain link fence, and yeah. All right, so we just finished another session that you guys will have probably just seen. So my car's been doing pretty good. The only issue which we had last time was that we overheated the brake fluid and I lost all braking on one of the straights at Auto Club Speedway. So I assumed that I would be fine if I just replaced the brake fluid. I had thought last time that the fluid probably just hadn't been replaced for a while, but I put in new fluid, did a full brake flush, and this morning the brake fluid was pretty clear, kind of brownish, but now it's pretty much just black. So I think what I'm gonna try and do to fix that problem next time is hook up these brake ducts. So I bought these from another Crossfire guy. I'm forgetting his name right now. He has an LS powered Crossfire. He 3D printed some of these. I didn't have time to fully hook up the tubing. I just got them in the front bumper. So next time I'll probably be making a video where I actually attach all the tubing and show you how I mounted these. So since the fluid's already turned black again, even though it's brand new fluid, I'm gonna make sure I'm a little more gentle on the braking, especially at the end of the straights. And then before the next track day, I'll try and get these brake duct tubes installed, and I'll have a video on that. I'm thinking of maybe getting the calipers from a newer SLK 55 AMG in the front and then moving these C32 calipers to the rear. I saw one guy did that with the SLK 55 calipers on his Crossfire, but I don't think he has C32s in the rear. So that's just one potential idea. Now here's a video of my fastest lap of the day. So we just had our 4th session out of 5 today, and it went really well. So I was able to meet my goal of being sub 210 at this track. I know there's still quite a bit of room for improvement. Anything under 2 minutes is considered really, really fast around here at this track. I noticed that my tires were tending to slide quite a bit. You'll see in the video. I'll probably put a video of my fastest lap, which was a 2:09 today. My previous fastest lap was 2:11.50 or something like that. And today it was like a 2:09.36. So 2 seconds faster than last time I was here, which I'm pretty happy with because, you know, I mean, 2 seconds might not sound like a lot, but 2 seconds at a racetrack is quite a lot. Next time I'll definitely be able to improve that. But I think this thing is definitely capable of a sub 2 minute at some point if I get, you know, better brakes, a little more weight reduction, and, you know, better tires. I drove my dad's Evora 400 today with some Nanking AR1s on it. They're kind of a weird tire that most people haven't heard of, but they felt really, really good. Way better than these R888Rs. And these R888Rs are good tires, but the Nankings just felt even better. So maybe next time I'm out here, I'll have Nankings, or I might even have some kind of a slick tire. We'll see. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a great day.